and welcome to Real Talk About Massage. My name is Dr. Alvina Ryan, and today we're speaking with Chris Melmoth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alvina. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So for those of you who are looking at home and listening to us on your devices, this show is all about massage therapists who have success. Most of the massage therapists have been working at least 10 years in the field or more. Our goal is to show you people who have success in massage therapy. So Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do.
So yeah, my name is Chris Melmoth, and I am a licensed massage therapist. I've been practicing since 2002 here in the United States. I am also an emergency medical technician and a CPR instructor, and I've been teaching CPR and first aid since 2006. And so I have two specialties that I offer. I do very clinical soft tissue work, and then I also do a type of energetic body work that I consider energy work that really works, if you can imagine that. So yeah, that's basically me.
Sorry, I was just saying we have kind of a similar background where I teach CPR as well over here in Canada. So that's interesting of our journeys. Like, tell me a little bit about this energy work that you were talking about. Okay,
so my education began in shiatsu school back in 2002. So it's kind of a unique, beginning that I'm extremely grateful for, because I just happened to go to that shiatsu school at the right time when they had like just the perfect lineup of amazing instructors. Two of them were Chinese medicine doctors, two of them were chiropractors, and then a whole slew of other ones that were just really specialists in the things that they did. So I not only got to learn, all the fundamentals of Chinese medicine, meridian theory, acupressure, all that, but I got to learn all the Western body work as well, and clinical analysis, orthopedic evaluation, all that stuff. So I got a great holistic education from the start. And, one of the really cool, unique things about starting out with shiatsu is learning depth of pressure just right. So, a lot of these massage therapists, you get the clients in there and they're like, oh, I just want really deep tissue, or, I just, want medium pressure or light pressure or whatever. I never had to think about that, because in shiatsu, we have something called the dachi, which means you have to go find the precise depth to grasp the chi. So on top of that, I had these amazing teachers. Dr. Mikio Sankey he's the creator of esoteric acupuncture. Extremely insightful, instructor that I just learned a lot from. But Dr. Vincent Medici was really the one who was my teacher that just really inspired me and set me up for really for my future career. And I've been spending the past 20 years not only practicing and putting his concepts into practice, but also writing about it. I teach it in workshops, but he said, now I'm going to teach you really how to take it to that next level. And so he pulled us out and took us to these private seminars where he really showed us what it really means to open up a body, And along with that came proper assessments. In shiatsu really is the most extensive bodywork style out there. It really is. When you think of, having to assess the meridians, the organs, the body type, the tissue, the acupoints, where psychology comes into it. We have these three basic, biochemistry, psyche, and biomechanics, and there's a whole list of interferences that people have when you look in those categories. You really have to assess that properly to give them a treatment that's really, truly going to open their meridians, their energy fields, if you will, and get them to that vibrant state of health, get them out of pain, all that stuff. So, he taught us all those fundamentals. And then, we had just, rooms full of people just, opening each other up, and he would pair people up according to body type. Another interesting thing, I don't want to do lots of tangents, but in shiatsu, you're supposed to and I think in all body work, you're supposed to work on people that are your size or smaller than you, meaning that you can't really open up somebody's meridians if they're much bigger, much stronger, have a much stronger nervous system, all that. It's kind of like fighting, you pair people up, in martial arts and boxing according to weight classes, right? It's really should be the same in body work. Unfortunately, it's not, but that is one of the concepts that we look at in order to open somebody's meridians. Like, can I open their meridians? Do I have enough strength to open this person's meridians? So anyway, he taught us this stuff, and bottom line is this energetic body work, which only a handful of us do, is undeniably real. When you really get the body open, it's intense feelings of energy and waves and rushes of heat. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody go into a full body wave, is what we call it, but it's where when you open up the nervous system in just the right way, and the endocrine system a little bit, the connective tissue around the spine, the dura, it starts unwinding, it starts releasing tension, and the body goes into like a snake-like movement, and we call it a wave, and it's pretty involuntary, it just comes. It's kind of similar to when you wake up first thing in the morning after a really great night's sleep and you do that big yawning stretch. They call it, actually, the scientific term is pendiculation. And you just like moving uncontrollably and you're stretching and it feels so good and you do that big yawn. Well, if you do that and then you sit there and allow yourself to feel what it feels like after that, you can, and you get, sensitive to it, you can feel these rushes and waves of energy throughout the body. So what I do with this energetic body work is I get people to feel that, but much, much more intensely. It feels amazing. So that's one of my specialties that I learned that from him, and I've just been practicing it and honing in on those skills and kind of mapping the body a bit to figure out what works best. But, and it's really fun. So I want to continue, practicing that and eventually teaching it a lot more to much larger, groups of people.
Perfect. So a lot of massage therapists don't go the energy route for whatever reason, but you chose that path, which makes you special, which makes you unique. Not everybody understands energy work. I see you're wearing a Cirque shirt, Cirque du Soleil. They're from where I'm from, Montreal.
Yeah.
What's your connection to the Cirque, and how many years as a massage therapist have you been practicing?
Okay, so I practiced, the majority of my 20 years has been in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I moved out there in 2003 and just started, as most massage therapists, you start in spas, you start wherever you can get a job and you do your time, you put your time in. So of course, that's what I did. I worked at a whole bunch of different spas, resort on the Strip. And, I knew pretty early on that I did not want to do spa work, but that's how you got to start, So I did that, but then I was offered a teaching job. And so I started teaching massage in one of the schools there. So I was working in the spas, teaching in a school, and ended up becoming a supervisor at the school. So I was running the department over at Las Vegas College. And then I was asked to do a massage for one of the artistic directors at Cirque du Soleil. She happened to be in my friend's yoga class. He's a yoga teacher. And, she asked him, hey, do you know anybody? And he said, yeah, try this guy out. So I went over to her house, did a few sessions. And that's when she invited me. She said, do you want to audition for Cirque? And I said, yeah, that's like my dream. I saw Cirque du Soleil back in, I think, 1994 in Santa Monica, fell in love with it, then moved to Vegas, saw a few shows. I said, this is where I have to work. And this is before any of this ever happened. I said, I have to work for this company. And the universe made it happen because I get introduced to this lady. So I go to the Beatles Love show. That's where I did my my interview. And basically you go and you work for a few hours, they pay you. And then the artists, the performers, we call them artists, and the staff in the clinics, they all come together and talk. Do you think he's good? Should we hire him? This and that. And they said yes. So extremely excited. So I got hired. My first job was at the Chris Angel show in, because that was right when Chris Angel opened up his Cirque du Soleil show. They came together to make show. So I was working that show, but I really started liking it a lot, the people, everything. And so I got invited to go to the other shows, to be we're employees, and to be like on a permanent schedule with the other shows. So I ended up going to CA, going to Mystere, going to all the shows, and getting put on all the Las Vegas shows. All those I was on the permanent schedule, and so I got to just experience. You would not believe the variety of body types in the world of circus, and they're from all around the world. These people, and they're the top athletes. I can't tell you how many people I'm working on them, and I see the Olympic rings tattooed, on their back, because that's what they did. A lot of them were Olympians, So these are the top of the top. And not only that, but in the clinic, we have like, three tables, sometimes 4 tables, sometimes 2. It depends on the clinic I'm in. There's a clinic backstage. And I got the physical therapists there, athletic trainers, which they call them athletic therapists, I think, in Canada. And we're side by side working on people, having fun, playing rock and roll, and just collaborating with each other on what this particular artist needs, what the patient needs, doing assessments. I really honed in on my skills during my 12 years. I was with Cirque from 2008 to 2020.
Amazing. Yeah. So if you had unlimited resources, what would you do to improve your business right now?
Oh man. So if I had unlimited resources, I would do a couple different things. Number one, I would open up 2 gyms / health centers in my favorite locations, and I already have those picked out. And so it'd be like a combination of a really awesome gym, but also a health and rejuvenation center that's kind of based around Russian banya. I don't know if you've heard of Russian banya, but it's the practice of going in very, very cold water and then going in a very, very hot sauna. And I would love to set up something like that, because it's just so healing and rejuvenating, along with all these other modalities I would have there that I've really figured out what really works, to get.
So just tell us where you are and how people could find you.
Okay. So right now, after COVID hit, we all got laid off from Cirque, and I just figured, you know what, I needed a change anyway. I always liked this one area in California. So I'm at the central coast of California now, right near Pismo Beach. And I'm kind of starting to reestablish myself out here, just trying it out, but I really like the area. My website is really probably the best place for people to find me. It's vibe-bodywork.com. VIBE-bodywork.com. And if I could just say one last thing.
Yes.
The whole field of massage therapy needs a change. There's a few changes that it really needs, but one of them is, we got these massage schools. I've seen lots of curriculums in all the schools I taught at. Nobody is getting taught proper clinical assessment with the work that they do. And so one of the things that I'm creating is a clinical massage therapy assessment course. How many massage therapists even assess properly before they work on anybody in the clinical, field? And how many owners of these clinics even allow for it? It's really terrible. It's ridiculous. And the assessment that they do, if they even do one, is really not what it should be. It's not enough to know. I've had so many cases where the patient comes in with a pain case. They think it's their back. It turns out to be their liver. I had one, she turned out to be meningitis. Now, if you do a proper assessment on that, you'll know, hey, I shouldn't be touching this person. They need to go to the doctor. But it just, for all those therapists out there, if you really want to get a very genuine, holistic and clinical assessment and treatment protocol, please look up my website, because I'm going to be doing a lot of that, and I'd love to teach too.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on our show. As I said before, we want to just highlight therapists that are on the move, that are doing things. I mean, how many people working for the Sikh do you know? So we want to make sure that everybody gets to see that there is people succeeding in massage therapy. I'm Alvina Ryan. This is Real Talk about massage. Thank you.
Thank you.